Hi, everyone. I'm Michael Brew, CMO at Agent Moves, and welcome to our Good to Great series. We're all about sharing amazing stories with some of the top realtors and how they got there so we can help more realtors become great. So let's jump in with our guest today. I'd love you to meet Andre Ospina. Andre's story, I was looking to get something like very personal, but Andre's into investing and he's into helping. All right, he's into helping people invest and work with him. Love to hear a little bit about separate from, I know it's related to real estate, but talk to
Mhm.
me a little bit about how you've been helping different people with their investments or with work and what you've been doing in the community.
Yeah, so I initially got my license to learn how to invest. And through that journey, I was able to connect with a couple of friends, one who's a business partner with me at the Premier Villa Group now. And I was able to learn from them how to fix and flip. And as I went through that journey, I wanted to pay it forward to other people. So now I dedicate myself to helping people analyze properties, figure out the best use for them, how to upgrade them or change their use to maximize the return on investment, and then resell it for them. So work a little bit with investors that fix and flip. I also help with some other people that want more of like the long term buy and hold investments. I do that myself, so I always try to give them my honest opinion. And obviously, if I would do it, then I'm comfortable sharing it with somebody else for and kind of motivate them to do it. Because sometimes the big decision holds people back from doing it, so I try to be there and guide them through the process of buying it, and then through the management of the asset. And then if they want to get rid of it or dispose of it, then I help them with the disposition side as well.
Yeah, really nice. I have to say that I've done, I don't know, maybe close to 20 interviews now. And I think a common thread for agents is helping people,
Right.
which is beautiful, right? It's really a great, however, they've come around to real estate from maybe second careers, whatever it is. But the theme of helping people really seems to come up. I love your story here in, helping friends, look to take that knowledge, right? Sharing wisdom is what it's all about. So looking to take that knowledge and share it with friends and help them with their investments is, it's just awesome. It's a great way to approach life. So tell me about your journey. So I know just a little bit. We spent a few minutes together. I know you got a little 4-year-old at home, and that I'm sure it keeps you and your wife crazy busy. But
Yeah.
how did you get involved in real estate? If you can tell everyone, how did it start? What got you involved? What kind of created this passion?
So like I mentioned before, I got into it to want to learn how to invest. And my quickest way to find out how it was to get my license and see what people were doing. I started by chasing down, unwanted real estate, the older homes, the pre foreclosures, and then aligning them with another partner of mine who would be buying them. And then from there, I naturally was able to generate and find sellers that wanted to sell for whatever reason at a discount, whether it was because they weren't turnkey or they were in some sort of issue that needed to get rid of the asset quickly. And then from there, naturally, I started having a lot of listings and having people reach out to us to buy homes. So that's when we decided to start a team and have some agents on the team to help the retail buyers really go through the process of buying their first home. And the good thing is we always have renovated homes for them to buy. So eliminate some of that scary part of buying a home that's going to require more money out of their pocket as they're through their ownership. So we focused on that, and then from there we've been able to grow and help other investors acquire larger assets. So that's kind of nice too, because you get a little different perspective on the business. And like we mentioned at the beginning, it's all about helping people. So we put their needs first every time, and that helps us build a successful business and have people that rave about us and pass our name forwards to their friends and families.
Beautiful. So to get an idea of the scope, how many homes did you move last year?
It was about including rentals because we help a lot of investors with the management of their assets. It was somewhere around 110, I believe, transactions that we helped. Sales side, it's probably somewhere around like 50% of that, so maybe like 50, 60 homes between sellers and buyers.
Very nice. Very, very nice. Okay,
Hmm.
so talk about the business to me now. And, you got into it from the investing side, which is really
Yeah.
interesting, right? Didn't really know, I guess, have any kind of like, connection to real estate, but you were looking at investments. So very cool. Now you're here. How are you generating leads? How are you keeping the flow of, new business?
Yeah, most of our leads come from our database. So, um, running and operating the business, we do our best to stay in contact with our past clients, friends, and family, and we generate referrals that way. So we'll do a few events every year. That helps us generate business and stay top of mind with the people we've been in contact with. That's primarily our source of business. We also have business from investment groups, the larger asset managers that are looking for to liquidate some smaller assets or some properties that they don't want. And we have a little bit from our mailers and cold calls, but primarily it's the people we already know that we've been working with for some years now.
Right. So tell me a little bit about that. That's great. And that is what, I think what a lot of agents struggle with is they know the business is there in their database, but there's
Mhm.
a bit of a struggle in putting the time in to nurture properly, right? To really get the most out of the database, even though they're kind of getting a lot of, some of it naturally, just more organically, people moving, remembering, that agent,
Yeah, yeah,
which seems to be one of the biggest problems, right? It's something like, 80% or so of people do not use the same agent to sell their home that sold them their home because they don't remember who they are.
right.
So tell me a little bit about like what you guys do, kind of nurture, stay in touch. I know you talked about some events, but kind of give us the whole picture.
Yeah, so, I'm sure many people have read that book by Gary Keller, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. And like you mentions in there, you have to create a systematic way to communicate with your database. So we do our best to create some marketing plans that would send our clients letters, emails, there's personal phone calls, and the events. And we just make them repetitive over and over. And yeah, that's as simple as putting in our database their birth dates and sending them a birthday card on their birthday or their kids' birthdays. Then there's some standard holidays we all could kind of celebrate and talk about, or at least share some gratitude for, which helps us stay in contact, like Thanksgiving, 4th of July, Labor Day. It's nice to from there. It's a process, right? So we would follow up with after they receive our email. We follow up with a call to see how their summer's been, for example, if it's a 4th of July email that goes out. And like they say, in all modes of communication with your database, you should always be clear to let them know how you would expect for them to send you a referral when they think of somebody who's looking to buy real estate. Always remember, sometimes it's easy to remember or forget, I should say, to ask for the business, or we hesitate to ask. So there's different ways you could ask for business, sometimes not being so direct, but in our system, we always make sure to ask for the business, remind them how to send us the business, and then when they do, reward them for sending us the business, whether it's a gift card to Starbucks or something, just showing gratitude for them taking the time to send you business, essentially. Whether that business comes to fruition or not, always got to be grateful for them thinking of you and remembering you. So if you could just do that consistently, it just organically grows.
Yeah.
And then it's just about adding more people to your database so it never stops.
So talk to me about coming into the new year. What are your growth plans for the year?
One of our main goals now is adding another team member that's going to help us with the operations. That's probably our number one target at the moment. So we can then be able to focus on growing the business and somebody can help us with the nurturing of our database and helping us run the operations of the team. I would say another agent on our team would probably be nice as well to handle the influx of leads. And another thing we want to improve on is our follow-up process on those leads that we have come in that haven't been converted. So develop a better follow-up plan to convert leads at a higher ratio.
Excellent. Tell me about events. You were talking about you do a couple of events a year to also, I guess, be in the community and, touch your sphere of influence and so forth. What are you doing?
Right. So we do the Thanksgiving gratitude pies to our database. We've done that a few ways. We've had people come to the office to pick them up. Some of them we deliver. We also typically give some sort of marketing slash apparel or something as a gift as well. So like this year we did hoodies with our logo and just giving out to our database along with the pie. We do a photos with Santa event for the younger families for the most part, so they could come take a picture with Santa. We actually just did it this weekend, and yeah, it's all the people that we know in their database. They could come. We rent the space out. Santa's there, reads their kids a story, and it gives the parents some time to have conversations with people that know us, and then people that were in the transition of converting to lifetime clients, like we call, and also just to reconnect with the database that we have. We'll do a mini golf outing and that's typically for our clients that have some middle-aged kids. So it's something, some clients have like 12, 13-year-olds that don't want to take the picture with Santa anymore. So we'll do a mini golf outing that gives them time to come, bring the kids, they get entertained, we get a chance to reconnect with them. And then we do a Super Bowl party
Oh, beautiful.
for our clients. That's typically our one that gets the most people. Um, it's something nice. We try to blast it out there, let people know we're doing it. They come, everybody has a good time. We'll do a Super Bowl box, so some people get a chance to win some money, and that also gives us time to reconnect with people throughout the game. So it's a good 2 3 hours that it's a lot of people into one room, and then you could remind them that you're in real estate and you need referrals.
Yeah, very
And then
good.
this year we're also going to be doing an Easter egg hunt and photos with the Easter bunny.
Cool, cool. Very, very good. Very good. I love it. So have you, it sounds like you have a goal for supporting operationally, but have you looked at like the 50 or 60 sales? Do you set a goal coming into next year to, raise that by X percentage?
Yeah, for the longest time we've been working to get to 360 transactions. So that's always our goal. And with these operations, we're pretty confident that we should be able to double what we did this year, considering, it was a tough year for many people and we don't have as much inventory as we would like. And we still managed to basically hit as many sales this year as we did the year before. So we're pretty confident that next year coming up, with some of the changes we've made already, we should get to that 200, 250 mark. But the goal is
Beautiful.
still 360, so we'll keep pushing for that.
I love that. I mean, that is the way you need that aspirational goal, that stretch
Yeah,
goal to hit. That's just the way a big business would focus on it. So you're not thinking like a little agent, dealing with, a couple of homes in your market. This is the way companies look, right? Stretch that. Here's what we want to shoot for. And then obviously you're keeping
right.
that motion of always growing, but you want to get to that big number.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love hearing that. So tell me some of the challenges now. So to get to that number, outside of, okay, you can hire a couple of more people, right? People, we know it's like people, process, systems, metrics is what runs this stuff well, right?
Right.
Constantly throwing people at it becomes, we know, a big overhead expense. How are you looking at the challenge of now, doubling the business into the next, year, 18 months?
Yeah, I think the challenge that everybody's experiencing is the lack of inventory. We're always back and forth on, do you try to take a larger percentage of your market share in our area, or do we try to expand a little further out? So that's always the challenge going back and forth. It's like, do you want more market share of the markets we're in already, or do we want to expand and get more business out of markets that we're maybe not in at the moment? And I think a lot of that then gets solved by having a strong operations team that can help you scale and grow. And what we have already is pretty good. Now we got to get it for it to be great, and then it makes the growth part easier. That's going to be the second challenge, is finding talent. Always a challenge.
Right. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it does seem there's a lot of movement in the agent
Hmm.
world,
Yeah,
in the business,
yeah,
maybe more so than typical, kind of, corporate America.
yeah, for sure.
Feels like if I can, make more or someone's providing me with more where I think it's going to be, I'm going to jump,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
seen that. We've had a large team, and that was good for a certain amount of time, but everybody got burnt out, and it was better to run and operate a team with less people but better quality.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Yeah.
Works for both sides a lot better.
Quality over quantity.
Exactly.
Right, right. All right, this is fabulous. So if you were going to give, talking about good to great, right? That's what this series is about.
Hmm.
How to help realtors go from, doing really well like you are to that next step. Let's give us one or two tips out there for the audience on what you'd recommend, helping them move to greatness.
Yeah. Number one is learn that Millionaire Real Estate Agent book by heart. Know everything, and then, like they tell you, just follow the process. It's already written out in the book. So, just focus on knowing and learning that book, and then following that process along the way, and use that book as guidance. I didn't do that at first, and through trial and error, I find out just keep coming back to the same thing. So that's what I would recommend. It's learning that book, knowing it, and then repeating what it says and following the process like it says. Don't try to, like we did, jump steps and try to get to the end quicker.
Good recommendations. Yeah. There's
Yeah.
a process out there. It's been working,
Yep.
right? Before you start taking it apart to make it better,
Just
follow the process, get it to work for you. I'm sure there are individual things that you can twist to make it your own, but I think that's good advice. Like, don't take a process and try and cut 3 steps out.
right.
Try and follow it, be successful, then see how you can maybe make that your
Build
own.
on it. Yep. Exactly.
All right, beautiful. Hey, I really, really appreciate the time, Andre. This was great. Thank you so much. Just what we're looking for, sharing those tips. And again, this is way more for, agents like you that are years into this and successful, really loving it, what they're doing, helping people and so forth, but want to get to the next level. So they get one nugget from this. It's really like a home run. So thank you so much. And everyone watching, please follow, Andre on social media, click the like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And hopefully you come back and, we'll keep these interviews going. And hopefully we help get you from doing some good work to doing some great work.
Sounds
Thank you
good.
so
Thanks,
much again.
Blake.
Really appreciate the
Got it.
time.
Thank you.